currently live on YouTube. Judge Fox, thank you for assisting me. We'll go ahead and bring Mr. Gaystan forward.
All right, are you Mr. Darren Gaystan?
That's correct.
All right, sir, you are charged with simple battery. Your bond is $4,000. You have a special condition to stay away and have no contact with Sienna Gaystan. Also, not to violate any laws while you are out on bond. Sir, do you waive the formal reading of your charges, or do you want them read to you?
When you mean,
I'm sorry.
when you mean read them to you, what you mean by that?
Do you know what you're charged with, or do you want me to read the affidavit from the officer?
Read the affidavit.
All right, it indicates on July 17th, 2020 in Clayton County, Georgia at 7265 Davidson Parkway in Stockbridge at approximately 22:31 hours. You did commit the following violations of Georgia law: simple battery, family violence, and that said offender did intentionally cause physical harm to his wife, Sienna Gaystan, when he sprayed her with savory red pepper spray. She sprayed herself. However, the pepper spray was found on his person after the arrest. Sir, I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you believe, sir? Do you believe you can post your $4,000 bond?
I do.
All right. And would you like to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes.
All right, so they will have a waiver form for you to sign, sir, and then you will be excused to go back with the deputy. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Let me ask you another question.
Thank you, sir.
Huh?
Put a pin down.
Oh.
Come on.
Thank you, Judge Fox, for your assistance. Have a great day.
We got kids. I take care of my kids.
All right.
You got kids together.
Judge Duvernay.
Thank you. We will now take the female inmates. The first one we will speak with is Jordan Clark.
Sign here.
And then see that one will have a male vote, because we got this female.
Well, now you need to talk to his feelings about it, so I can't talk to you.
Okay. Hey, Judge.
Yes.
There's two people in medical. If we could do them for last, you want me to give you their names?
Okay.
The first one's gonna be LaChance Florencia.
All right.
And Mulkey Marquelo.
Okay.
And that's
Is
it.
this, the camera is very fuzzy. I don't know if something happened to put you all out of focus, but can you wipe the camera or whatever? I can barely see Ms. Clark.
Nah, it's not focusing.
That's better. Thank you. Good morning, Ms. Clark, or good afternoon, I should say.
Good afternoon.
We are streaming live on YouTube. You are charged with simple battery. Do you understand the nature of your charge, or would you like your warrant read aloud for the public?
I understand.
Your bond is $3,500. You are to stay away from Julius Jones. You are not to return to 6441 Holiday Boulevard in Forest Park. It was indicated on the warrant that this is your current residence. As such, the court will allow you to go with a sheriff's escort for the limited purpose of retrieving your property to that residence. However, you cannot go back to that property unescorted until this matter is resolved. Do you understand?
Yes.
Another condition of your bond is that you are to stay away from Mr. Jones and you are not to violate any laws while out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes.
Give me one moment. You are facing a misdemeanor charge. This means, as the court instructed earlier, you have the right to waive your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes.
Please be sure to sign your preliminary hearing waiver, otherwise they will not waive it. So step to the side, have a good day, ma'am, and sign your preliminary waiver.
White.
Next, we will have Ashley Graham. Ms. Graham, good morning.
Good morning.
To say you are charged with driving on a suspended license. It's indicated that you are a habitual violator, although the court cannot determine whether or not this was a misdemeanor or a felony as of yet. So currently you are facing driving on a suspended license as a misdemeanor. However, the court and the prosecutor always has the right per statute to increase the charge to a felony. Do you understand?
Yes.
You're also charged of a felony count of the violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act. We are live streaming this on YouTube. Do you understand the nature of your charge, or would you like your charge and warrant read aloud?
I understand.
All right. Your bond is $10,500. A condition of your bond is that you must not violate any laws while out on bond. The court has appointed an attorney to represent you. You are facing a felony charge, so you do not have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. As such, your preliminary hearing will be held on September 9th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We will do Ms. LaChance later in the medical unit.
Yeah.
So we will now have Tanya White. Are you Ms. White?
Yes, ma'am.
You are currently charged with criminal damage to property in the second degree. Do you understand the nature of your charge, or do you want your warrant read aloud?
I understand.
You are to stay away from Jornell Williams. You are not to return to 11446 Ashfield Lane in Hampton, Georgia. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. Are you currently on probation in Carroll County?
No, ma'am.
Your bond is $5,000. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, keep it down.
Your charge is a felony. This means that you are going to have a preliminary hearing on September 9th at 8 a.m. in room 203. The court has appointed an attorney to represent you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Randy Brand. Ma'am, you are charged with trafficking methamphetamines and use of possession of drug-related objects. Do you understand your charge, or do you want it read aloud?
ma'am.
Do not have a bond at this time. Your next court date will be September 9th at 8 a.m. in room 203. Your bond date, however, will be September 11th at 8 a.m. in room 203. Have a good day. Tiffany Grooms.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, you are charged with cruelty to children in the second degree. This is a felony. Your bond is $20,000. Do you understand your charge, or do you want your charge read aloud?
I do understand my charges.
So do you want it read? You don't want it read aloud?
Yes, I'm bonding.
You don't want your warrant read aloud was my question.
I'm not understanding. My hearing is impaired too, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm very,
We're streaming live on YouTube. So if you understand the nature of your charge, I don't have to read your warrant aloud. However, You have the right for me to read it aloud if you want me to read it aloud. Do you want me to read your warrant aloud, or do you understand and you're okay with what you've been charged with? Not okay in the sense of you agree, but you understand what you've been charged with.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so your bond is $20,000. You are to stay away from Carmelo Cloud, and you should not violate any laws while out on bond. Your next court date will be September 9th at 8 a.m. in room 203. I am appointing an attorney to represent you. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Have a good day. Samantha Harley.
Yes.
Ms. Harley, you are charged with simple assault and obstruction of an officer. The court has dismissed your simple assault charge. However, your obstruction of an officer charge still stands. Do you understand the nature of your charge, or do you want your warrant read aloud?
Yeah, I understand.
You do not have a bond at this time on the obstruction charge based on your suspended sentence out of Clayton County. The court is appointing an attorney to represent you. Your next court date will be September 9th at 8 a.m. in room 203. Have a good day.
Come on.
Fallon Jackson,
Yes, ma'am.
or is it Fallon?
Fallon.
Ms. Jackson, you are charged with giving a false name, use of possession of drug-related objects, and theft by receiving stolen property as a felony. Your bond is $15,000, and you must not violate any laws while out on bond. Do you understand the nature of your charge, or do you want your warrants read aloud?
I understand them.
The court has appointed an attorney to represent you. Your next court date will be September 9th at 8 a.m. in room 203. Are you able to make bond?
I don't know.
All right, have a good day. Charlene Monlin. Ma'am, you are charged with battery family violence. It was charged as your second offense, but the record indicates it's actually your, wait a minute, I'm trying to finish. The record indicates that that was a misentry. This is your first offense. So the court has modified the charge. You are charged with battery family violence as your first offense. The difference with that is if it were your second offense, it will be a felony. However, because it's your first offense, it is a misdemeanor. Do you understand the nature of your charge, or do you want your warrant read aloud?
I understand.
Your bond is $3,500. You are to stay away from Dominic Brown. You cannot return to 5190 Henderson Drive. It was indicated on the warrant that this is your residence that you share with Mr. Brown. As such, the court will allow you to go with a sheriff's escort for the limited purpose of retrieving your personal property. However, you cannot go back to that property unescorted unless this condition is modified by another judge or until this matter is concluded. Do you understand, ma'am?
Yes.
You must also not violate any laws while out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
I hope to, yes.
As this is a misdemeanor, you have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing, ma'am?
Yes.
Please be sure to sign the waiver that the deputies have. Otherwise, you will not be waived. Have a good day. Are you Chantrice Moore?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Moore, you are charged with obstruction of your license plate. So just hindering the view of your license plate. You're charged with driving on a suspended license. You're also charged with several felony counts of violation of a Georgia Controlled Substances Act. As a matter of fact, you are charged with 8 felony counts of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act. Do you wish for me to read your warrants aloud, ma'am, or do you understand the nature of your charges?
I understand, ma'am.
You do not have a bond at this time because you are currently on probation from a July 18 sentence. The court is appointing an attorney to represent you. Your next court date is going to be September 9th at 8 a.m. in room 203. I have appointed an attorney to represent you, ma'am. Have a good day.
I have a question.
What is your question?
From July 18th, meaning I'm not on probation in Clayton County.
Okay, ma'am. The records indicate that you had a sentence from 2018. That's a 3-year probation sentence. I am appointing an attorney to represent you. If that is not accurate, I'm sure your attorney will let the court know. And then they can do something in terms of modifying, but the court is not authorized to set a bond based on what your record indicates.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day. Ms. Roses, are you Ms. Roses?
No, I'm Ms. Ponder.
I need Lizette Roses. Ms. Roses, you are charged with possession of marijuana less than an ounce and a felony count of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act. Do you understand the nature of your charge, or would you wish to have your warrant read aloud?
I understand.
You do not have a bond at this time. Your next court date will be September 9th at 8 a.m. in room 203. The court is appointing an attorney to represent you. Have a good day. Tamisha Sykes.
Judge, you don't have, okay, Sykes. Ask her about Fonda.
About Fonda?
Yeah.
You have Fonda with it? George, you have Fonda?
Yes.
I'm going in the order of my paperwork. So yes, I do have Ponder, but I want to do Ms. Sykes next. Ms. Sykes, you are charged with criminal trespass, simple assault, and disorderly conduct. Do you understand the nature of your charges, or do you need the warrants read aloud?
No, I understand.
Okay. Your bond is $8,500. You are not to return to the Family Dollar where the alleged incident occurred, and you must not violate any laws of out on bond. Do you understand these special conditions, ma'am?
But I didn't hear the amount.
It's $8,500. You have only misdemeanor charges, which means you have the right to waive your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing? As such, your next court date will come in the mail. Please make sure you sign the waiver with the deputies. Have a good day, ma'am.
Okay,
Thank you.
Judge, who you need next?
We will have Chantrell Williams.
Chantrell Williams.
After that, we will have Aisha Ponder.
Okay, Judge.
You're charged with criminal attempt at criminal trespass. Your bond is $3,500. You are to stay away from Richard Williams. You shall not return to 9144 Trail Court. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. Before we proceed, do you understand the nature of your charges, or do you want your warrant read aloud?
How many charges I have? One or two?
One.
Okay, yes,
Do you understand the nature of your charge?
yes,
Okay. And do you understand the special conditions as iterated by the court?
yes.
This is a misdemeanor charge that you are facing, so you have the right to waive your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Please sign your waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail. Have a good day. Ms. Ponder,
Ma'am.
you are charged with theft by deception, identity fraud, conspiracy to commit a crime, and racketeering. Do you understand the nature of your charges, or do you want your warrants read aloud?
I understand the nature.
Your bond is $40,000. You are to have no contact with the alleged victims, and you must not violate any laws while out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
I don't know. You're
I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. Your next court date is going to be September 9th at 8 a.m. in room 203. Have a good day.
you said 40,000. You're
Yeah.
Yes.
Come on, Nicola, come on.
Are we ready for the male inmates, or do we need some time?
Judge, if you give me about 2 minutes, I might have the mail ready.
Got you. That'll give me time to pull my stack up.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
Burks?
Who did you say, Your Honor?
Burks? Also, I realized that the inmate that's getting reset, I found his paperwork. His name is Mr. Witherspoon. He's gonna be reset until tomorrow.
Witherspoon.
Are you Mr. Aaron Burks?
Yes, ma'am.
Give me one moment, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Hubert.
Mr. Burks, you are charged with criminal trespass. Your bond is $10,000. We are streaming live on YouTube. Do you want me to read your warrant aloud, or do you understand the nature of your charge?
Now can you read it out to me, ma'am?
Give me one moment.
10,000.
Stand by. We are having other technology issues. Please have a seat, sir. I need to go off for a quick moment to figure out what's going on with the computer again. Give me one moment.
Yes, ma'am. Hey, remember in your spot, y'all can have a seat if you want to. I don't know how long it's gonna be, but you stay right there.
Mr. Burks, come forward. The warrant alleges that you, Aaron Lee Burks, did intentionally damage the property of Ariana Burks without the consent of the property owner and damaged the property thereto with property damage less than $500. Aaron kicked the driver's door of Ariana's vehicle after an argument, leaving a large size dent on the door. Aaron and Ariana are brother and sister and reside in the same residence. Court reviewed that, found that your bond shall be $10,000. You are to stay away from Ariana Burks. You shall not return to 4767 Courtney Drive in Forest Park. It was indicated that that's your residence, so the court will allow you to go with a sheriff's escort for the limited purpose of retrieving your personal property, but you are not allowed to go to that property unescorted. You are not allowed to be around Ms. Burke for any reason, and you're facing a misdemeanor, so you have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to have your preliminary hearing, sir?
Yes, ma'am. No, I want to waive it. I want to waive it. My fault.
Thank you. Have a good day. Please make sure you sign the waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail. Have a good day.
That's what I was gonna say. It's gonna be resolved in like 7 to 10 business days because I ain't gonna be able to pay that bond.
If you can't pay your bond, sir, come back. If you cannot pay your bond, I don't see you. If you cannot pay your bond, but you're waiving, it's still gonna move the process along quicker. You're gonna go before a state court judge. So yes, it will expedite your matter. Have a good day. Marquise Crocker,
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
you're charged with simple battery, obstruction of an officer. We are live streaming on YouTube. Do you want your warrants read aloud or do you understand the nature of your charge?
I understand.
Your bond is $7,000. You are not to have any contact with Officer Martinez. You're not violent contact with Officer Martinez. You must not violate any laws out on bond. These are misdemeanor offenses. Are you able to make bond?
Yes.
Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
I don't know what that means.
Okay, I read earlier, I'm not gonna be repeating this over and over, but what I said earlier, and if anybody else is listening, this is the last time I'm gonna say it. Your preliminary hearing is to determine if there's no probable cause to keep you in jail. If you pay a bond, you will automatically be waiving your preliminary hearing. Also, if you have a misdemeanor only, you get to waive your preliminary hearing and move your matter along quicker. Probable cause is a different threshold. It's not saying that you're guilty or innocent. It's just asking whether or not you wish to waive your preliminary hearing and move your matter along quicker. The answer to my question is yes or no, sir.
So if I say yes, it'll go quicker?
Yes.
Say yes.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right, you too.
Shavarik Hong, that's you?
Matthew Gibson.
Shavarik Hong, has he bonded out? Shavarik Hong, H-O-N-G.
Gilbert Holmes,
H-O-N-G, has he bonded out?
yeah, Holmes bonded out. He bonded out, yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You are Mr. Mays?
Matthew Gibson.
Who's name?
Mr. Mays bonded out as well?
Yeah, yes.
Thank you. Andre Petit?
I'm here.
Hold on.
I believe that young man said his name was Gibson. I do not have paperwork for him, so he needs to stand by.
I'm Andre Petit.
Come to the podium so you can hold on to the podium.
Did you all hear that about Mr. Gibson needing to stand by?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Are you Andre Petit?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You are charged with simple assault and criminal trespass. Do you understand your charge or do you want your charge read aloud, your warrant read aloud?
Can I hear it? Can I hear it read aloud?
Yes, you can. I just want you to know we are streaming live on YouTube, but if you have no problem with that, the court will read your warrant aloud. Give me one moment.
Hey.
The accused did intentionally damage the property of Wayne Petit without consent of that person by punching a hole in the garage interior frame. Andre Shannon Petit did commit the act when places Wayne Petit in reasonable apprehension of immediately injury by walking towards Petit, who had to defend himself against Andre Petit in self-defense.
Yeah.
Andre and Wayne are father and son. The victim just observed the offender punch the door and told him not to walk toward him multiple times, but the offender continued, and this incident happened in Clayton County, Georgia. You are charged with this, sir. The court reviewed it, found that there's probable cause for the warrant as requested. So the court did sign off on the probable cause of the warrant. Your bond is $7,000. You are not to go around Wayne Petit. You are not to return to 1582 Leonard Street in Hampton, Georgia. It was indicated that this is your residence. You can go back with a shared escort for the limited purpose of retrieving your personal property. You cannot go back to the property unescorted unless and until this matter is resolved or until that condition is modified by another judge. You must also not violate any laws without a bond. Do you understand?
Judge Duvernay, can you stand by?
Yes.
We have to address a fire alarm real quick.
Yes. Court is going to stand by.
Hey, Judge.
Yes, you back? You ready?
Sorry about that. The alarm just went off, so we just wanted to make sure everything was okay.
Okay, everything's good. We good to keep going?
And we're good to keep going.
All right.
And then you have a petite.
Mr. Petit, as we were stating earlier, I've already read to you your warrant. Your charges are simple assault, criminal trespass. Your bond is $7,000. You are to stay away from Wayne Petit. You should not return to 1582 Leonard Street in Hampton, Georgia. It was indicated that that is your residence, so the court will allow you to return with the sheriff's escort to that place for the limited purpose of retrieving your personal property. However, you cannot go back to that property unescorted, or you cannot go back to that property or be around Mr. Petit for any reason, unless and until those conditions are modified by another judge or until those conditions are closed at the conclusion of the case.
How long does that, is that forever? Is that forever, or is it a certain amount of time?
It is until the case is resolved or until the condition is modified.
Okay.
These are misdemeanor offenses. This means you have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes, please.
Are you able to make bond?
Yes.
Thank you. Have a good day. Jeremiah Ragland.
So I have to talk to y'all. When I get back. My family. It's the sheriff in the same place I was at, right? Another day. And I have different issues. They freeze my feet a lot. Like if I can take rocks like everyone else.
Oh, I'm not sure about that.
Sir, you are Mr. Jeremiah Ragland.
Yes, ma'am.
You are charged with simple battery. Do you understand your charge, or do you wish to have your warrant read aloud?
I understand my charge.
You are to stay away from Samir Cuthbert. Your bond is $3,500. You shall not return to 2516 Fairview Lane in Jonesboro. It was indicated on the warrant that that is your residence. As such, the court will allow you to go to that residence for the limited purpose of retrieving your personal property. However, you are not to go back to that property unescorted unless this matter is resolved or unless that condition is modified by another judge. You must also not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
These are misdemeanor offenses, so you have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
What was that?
Yes, ma'am.
Please sign your waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail. Have a good day. Demetrius Ramey.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ramey, you are charged with tinted window violation and a felony count of possession of a Schedule I substance. Do you understand your charge, or do you want to have your warrant read aloud?
I understand.
Your bond is $10,500. You do not violate any laws out on bond. Next court date will be 8 a.m. on September 9th in room 203. Do you wish, excuse me, the court has appointed an attorney to represent you. This is a felony, so you cannot waive your preliminary hearing. Have a good day. I did want to ask you, sir, are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Have a good day. Dante Robinson.
What's the last name, Your Honor?
Has he bonded out Mr. Robinson?
Robinson?
Dante Robinson, did he bond out?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. We will have Justin Simmons yet next. Okay. So Mr. Simmons,
Yes, ma'am.
you are charged with burglary, 2 counts of burglary, excuse me, and theft by taking. Do you understand your charges, or do you wish to have your warrants read aloud?
Excuse me, ma'am?
Do you understand the nature of your charges, or do you wish to have your warrants read aloud?
Read my warrants aloud, please.
Stand by. You are Justin Simmons, correct?
Yes, ma'am. You can't get to it, ma'am. I understand.
I see him. You are accused of burglary with intent to commit a felony in the 2nd degree. Said accused did without authority and with intent to commit a felony or theft therein, entered 303 Highway 138, Riverdale, Georgia, 30274, which is life storage, a structure or another, to wit, Justin Simmons gained entry to the aforementioned location by the use of bolt cutters, and on the property, he used said bolt cutters to gain entry into a storage unit leased by Shalikia Warren and committed the theft by removing several items belonging to Warren. You are also accused of another crime of burglary with intent to commit a felony, in that said accused without authority and with the intent to commit a felony or theft therein, he entered 303 Highway 138, Riverdale, Georgia, 30274, which is life storage, a structure of another, to which Justin Simmons gained entry to the aforementioned location by the use of bolt cutters, and once on the property, he used said bolt cutters to gain entry into a storage unit leased by Alexandria Scone and committed a theft by removing several items belonging to Scone. You are also charged of theft by taking, in that the said accused did take property to include salon chairs, tennis shoes, computer, smart TV 50-inch, iPad, skates, and a purse, the property of Antoinette Wilkerson, with a value of $1,500 or more, with the intent to deprive said owner of said property, to wit, while Justin Simmons was on said property committing the offense of burglary, he entered Wilkerson's storage unit without her consent and took said items with intent to deprive Wilkerson of said items. The court reviewed all of these charges and found probable cause for the warrants as accused. Are you currently still on probation, sir?
I don't even remember being on probation, man.
You do not have a warrant. You do not have a bond at this time, excuse me. It was indicated that you were sentenced to probation, 7 years probation in Clayton County on March 7, 2017. Whether or not you still have probation, the court, based on the nature of these charges and your history, will not be giving you a bond, because I found that even if you are not on probation, you are at a high risk of reoffending. The court has appointed an attorney to represent you. Your next court date will be September 9th at 8 a.m. in room 203. Have a good day. John Taylor.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor, you are charged with aggravated assault by strangulation, battery, family violence in the 2nd degree, and cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. Do you understand the nature of your charge, or do you wish to have your warrants read aloud?
I understand, yeah.
You do not have a bond at this time. Should you get a bond, a condition of your bond will be to stay away from Satori Taylor, Josiah Franklin, and Zephaniah Taylor. You should not return to 2055 Night Court in Atlanta, Georgia, and you must not violate any laws while out on bond. If you get a bond, excuse me, you should not violate any laws while out on bond, but however, the court has stated you do not have a bond at this time. Your next court date will be September 9th at 8 a.m. in room 203, and the court has appointed an attorney to represent you. Have a good day, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Quentin Thomas. You are charged with theft by receiving stolen property and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Please stand by. We are back. Mr. Thomas, do you understand your charge, or would you like your warrant read aloud? I can't, the jail is still muted. Do you want your warrant read aloud?
Excuse me?
Do you understand the charges? You are charged with theft by receiving stolen property and possession of firearm by a convicted felon. Do you wish to have your warrant read aloud, or do you understand the nature of your charge?
God, I'm so confused because I'm not a felon. I'm so confused right now.
Stand by. Sir, what is your name?
Quentin Thomas.
What is your date of birth?
3/7/88.
It is indicated that you have several different aliases. Have you ever gone by the name Stephen Thomas?
No, that's my oldest brother.
All right, sir. Well, based on the nature of the charges, based on the warrant, and based on the fact that your criminal history indicates that you have several different aliases for the same person. So it's indicated that this is still you, but there are several different people that are using this date of birth. I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. I reviewed the file. There is an alias of Stephen Thomas that is connected to your name of Quentin Thomas, and Stephen Thomas does have felonies, sir. Reviewed the warrant. The bond is going to be $15,000. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Your next court date is going to be September 9th at 8 a.m. in room 203. Mr. Thomas, do you want me to read the warrants? We still didn't cross that threshold. Do you want me to read the warrants, or you want to just, are you okay with not, do you weigh the reading of the warrant?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. I really just born that.
Okay. So have a good day.
How much the bond was?
15,000.
15,000.
Yes.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
What name on that room?
Is Ja'Cory Whipple still in, or did he bond out?
He's coming.
Whipple?
He's coming.
Thank you. Mr. Whipple? You were charged with possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Your bond is $1,500. Do you understand the nature of your charge, or do you want your warrant read aloud?
You read it out loud if you want to.
Did commit the offense of having possession of less than an ounce of marijuana inside of his hotel room in plain view on the nightstand. The offender admitted to smoking marijuana in our presence. Total weight for the marijuana was 3 grams. The court reviewed the warrant, found that there was probable cause for the warrant as requested. So your bond is $1,500. You are not to violate any laws while out on bond. This is a misdemeanor offense, so you have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing, sir?
No, ma'am.
I can't hear you.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
He said no, ma'am.
Your next court date is going to be August 25th at 8:30 in room 201. Have a good day.
All right.
Can I actually go?
Jornell Williams, are you Jornell Williams?
Yes, I am.
You are charged with criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree. Do you understand the nature of your charge, or do you need it read aloud?
I understand the nature of my charge.
I can't hear you.
I understand it.
Okay, give me one moment.
He said he understands, Your Honor.
Thank you. Give me 1 second. I need to review something that was not sent over to the court. Apologize for the delay. Your bond is $6,000. You are to stay away from Tanya White. Are you able to make, and you must not violate laws with out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
I'm able to make bond, yes.
This is a felony offense. So your next court date will be September 9th at 8 a.m. in room 203. Have a good day.
September 9th.
Yes, have a good day. Emmanuel Armstrong.
Your Honor,
Yes.
you have George and Sanders. Did you have their paperwork? Gibson and Sanders.
Gibson's paperwork was not sent over to me.
Okay,
I have a request for that.
okay.
Sanders. I do remember seeing Sanders. Give me a moment. Gary Sanders. You were charged with driving on a suspended license. Are you Gary Sanders?
Yes, ma'am.
You were charged with driving on a suspended license and defective equipment. Bond is $2,000 and you must not violate any laws while out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
No, ma'am.
This is a misdemeanor offense. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing or would you wish to have your preliminary hearing?
Waive it.
Thank you. Please sign your waiver. Yes, sir.
I got 4 kids and I work. Is there any way I can get an OR bond or something like that? That's why I was coming from work when they pulled me over. But I got a paycheck and I got 4 kids that I take care of. And I just want.
Court will give you an OR. Have a good day.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
He got a sign.
He still needs to sign the waiver, please, Mr. Sanders. Emmanuel Armstrong, we have made a request to the jail for the paperwork for Mr. Gibson, so he needs to still stand by.
Yes.
Emmanuel Armstrong. Sir, you were charged with cruelty to children in the 1st degree. You were charged with cruelty to children, another charge of cruelty to children cruelty to the child less than 18 years old. You were also charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. You were also charged with possession of a firearm by a felon, and you were charged with possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime. Do you understand these charges or do you want your warrants read aloud? We are streaming on YouTube.
Yes, ma'am.
What was that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, what? You want me to read them aloud or you understand your charges?
I understand.
You do not have a bond at this time. Should you get a bond, a condition of that bond will be to stay away from Sakari Lawson. Your court date will be September 9th at 8 a.m. in room 203. I have appointed an attorney to represent you. Have a good day.
All right.
Wayne Branker.
Brinker,
Yes.
Brinker.
Branker, B-R-A-N-K-E-R.
He's out on bond, Your Honor.
Thank you. Joshua Brewster.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Brewster, you were charged with driving on a suspended license. You were originally charged with a felony count of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act. However, in reviewing it, it looks like they intended to charge it as a misdemeanor, but they inputted it as a felony. So the court is making it a misdemeanor offense. However, should the DA or prosecutor look at it and find that there is probable cause for a felony, they can always go back and accuse it as such. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
As of now, it is a misdemeanor and your bond is $4,500. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand the nature of your charge or do you want your warrant read aloud?
No, I understand completely.
The charges are misdemeanors as stated earlier. As such, you have a right to waive your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes.
Please sign your waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail. Have a good day, sir.
Okay, one question. What's the total again? What's the total for the bond?
4,500.
All right, thank
Corey Cleveland. Mr. Cleveland, you were charged with simple assault. Do you understand your charge or do you need your warrant read aloud?
Understand.
I can't hear you, sir.
Understand.
Your bond is $3,500. You are to stay away from Cassius Clay Meacham. You shall not return to 58 Glen Eagles Way in Fayetteville. It's indicated that this is your residence, so the court will allow you to go with a sheriff's escort for the limited purpose of retrieving your personal property. You cannot go back to that property unescorted unless and until the matter is resolved or unless and until this condition is modified by another judge. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You must also not violate any laws out on bond. This is a misdemeanor offense, so you have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
No.
Can I hear you, sir?
Said no.
You said what?
You said no.
Your next court date will be August 25th at 8:30 in room 201. Have a good day. Are you Ronnie Collum?
Yes, ma'am.
One moment. You were charged with public drunk and simple battery. Do you understand your charge or do you want your warrant read aloud?
I understand, ma'am.
Your bond is $4,500. You are to stay away from Charles Jordan. And you cannot return to the whatever the club is at 3950 Jonesboro Road. You cannot return there. You must also not violate any laws while out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
The court has appointed an attorney to represent you. This is a misdemeanor offense, which means you have the right to waive your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Could I ask that total again?
Yes, it is $4,500. Have a good day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Please ensure that he signs his waiver.
Come on.
Davis,
Yes, ma'am.
you are charged with battery family violence. It was originally charged as battery family violence, a second offense. And reviewing your record, it looks like it actually was your first offense. Do you have a conviction for battery family violence?
You say, do I have one?
Do you have a conviction for battery family violence?
I never have.
Okay, so that's a no, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is your first offense. It's a misdemeanor. You also was charged with cruelty to children in the second degree. The court did not find that there was probable cause for cruelty to children in the second degree. However, there is probable cause for cruelty to children in the third degree. As such, the court has modified your charges. Do you now understand that you are charged with battery family violence in the first degree and cruelty to children in the third degree?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you wish to have your warrants read aloud or do you waive the reading of your charges?
I waive them.
Your bond is $7,000 and you are to stay away from Sharonda Rucker, Jada Elliott, and you cannot return to 6464 Albright Trail in Riverdale, Georgia. It was indicated on the warrant that this is your residence. As such, you are allowed to go back to that property with a sheriff's escort for the purpose of retrieving your property. You are not allowed to go back without a sheriff's escort unless and until this matter is resolved or unless and until that condition is modified by another judge. You must also not violate any laws while out on bond. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
These are misdemeanor offenses, so you have the right to waive your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Have a good day. Please sign your waiver. James Durden. You also known as Ronald Lee Durden.
Yes, ma'am.
You were charged with a felony count of the violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act. You do not have a bond at this time. Do you understand the nature of your charge or do you wish to have your warrant read aloud?
I understand.
All right. You stated you do not have a bond at this time. The court is providing an attorney for you and appointing an attorney to represent you. Your next court date will be September 9th at 8 a.m. in room 203. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Brian Foster.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you charged with giving a false name? Do you understand the nature of your charge or do you want your warrant read aloud?
I understand.
Your bond is $3,500. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. This is a misdemeanor charge, so you have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
No, ma'am, I'm bun out, just not today.
That's not what I asked you.
Oh, okay, well, I don't wanna wait mine.
Your next court date, if you bond out, you're gonna waive it. But until then, your next court date will be August 25th at 8:30 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day.
Right there. Order.
Are you Jonathan Gray?
Yes, ma'am.
Give me one moment. Oh. You are charged with giving a false name and possession of firearm by a convicted felon. Do you understand your charges, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Your bond is $11,000. You must not violate any law. Well, I asked you, did you understand your charge? The full question is, do you understand your charge and wish to waive the reading of your charge aloud?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, your bond is $11,000. You must not violate any laws out on bond. Your court date is gonna be September 9th at 8 a.m. in room 203. Do you, are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Order on that.
Deontay Hall. After Mr. Hall, we'll have Willie Huey. Mr. Hall, you are charged with battery, family violence, and obstruction of an emergency telephone call. Do you understand your charge, or do you need your warrant read aloud? Can't hear you. You understand, or you wish to have it read aloud?
I understand it.
Your bond is $7,000. A condition of your bond is that you must stay away from Jakira Cecil. You cannot return to 4699 Pine Circle in Ellenwood, Georgia. It was indicated on the warrant that this is your residence. As such, the court will allow you to go to the property with a sheriff's escort for the limited purpose of retrieving your personal property. You cannot go back to that property unescorted unless and until this matter is resolved, and unless and until that condition is modified by another judge. You must not violate any laws out on bond. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
This is a misdemeanor, and both of these are misdemeanors, so you can waive your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
What does that mean?
I'm not going back through that, sir. I've said it all day long. So your next court date is going to be August 25th at 8:30 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day.
I don't have a bond. I have a
I've
bond.
already told you your bond. Were you not listening? I've already told you your bond is $7,000. Have a good day. Are you Mr. Hughley?
Yes, ma'am.
Give me one moment, sir. Sir, you were originally charged with cruelty to children in the first degree. The court finds that there was not enough probable cause for that offense. However, the court does find that there's probable cause for the charge of cruelty to children in the second degree. As such, the court has modified your charge. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you wish to have your warrant read aloud, or do you understand the nature of your charge?
Can you read it out loud, please?
Give me one moment. You're Mr. Hughley, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hughley, is alleged that you endangered the health and welfare of Azor Taz by leaving her at home. The date of birth of the child is, I'm not sure the full date of birth, but 2018 was the year of birth. By leaving her at home unsupervised at 7393 Terra Road, apartment 601, and that you led to the child leaving the home alone and being found by a neighbor in the parking lot. Hughley left the home to go to the local store without providing supervision for Azortez Hintz. Hughley knowingly left her in the care of Hintz, but Hill Jemiah went to work. This offense occurred in Clayton County. Do you understand now, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
As stated, the court does not find there's probable cause for a cruelty to children in the first degree. However, we do find that there is probable cause for cruelty to children in the second degree. As such, you are to stay away from Ms. Hintz. You should not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond, sir?
No, ma'am, I don't even know how much it is.
7,000. I thought I said that. I'm sorry. It's 7,000. You're not able to make bond. I am appointing an attorney to represent you, sir. Have a good day, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Arnold Jackson.
Yes.
Give me 1 second. Okay, Mr. Jackson.
Yes.
You are charged with 4 counts of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, which are felonies. You are also charged with possession of a weapon during a crime and possession of a weapon by a felon. Understand your charges, or do you wish to have your warrants read aloud, sir?
I understand my charge.
Okay, your bond is $60,000. You will not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond, sir?
Yes.
Your next court date will be September 9th at 8 a.m. in room 203. I have appointed an attorney to represent you. Have a good day, sir.
Thank
Thank you. Javante Jackson. Sir, you are charged with battery. Do you understand the nature of your charge, or do you wish to have your warrant read aloud?
You can read it out loud.
Give me 1 second. My computer is freezing up again.
Yes, ma'am.
It is alleged that Javante Jackson did commit the offense of battery when he an intentional visible bodily harm to another while walking westbound along Forest Parkway. He came up behind the victim, Isaiah Thompson West, grabbed him in a chokehold, threw him to the sidewalk, and beat him with closed fists to the face, head, and body. The victim, Isaiah Thompson West, sustained visible bruising and swelling to the face, a blackened and closed left eye, and contusions to the face around the eye and mouth. The victim's injuries require EMS transport to the hospital for possible head trauma. The court reviewed the warrant as alleged, found that there was probable cause for the request for your detainment, and setting a bond at $5,000. Condition of your bond is you were to stay away from Isaiah Thompson West, and you must not violate any laws without on bond. This is a misdemeanor offense. You have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yeah.
Are you able to make bond?
No, ma'am.
Your next court date will come in the mail. If you do make bond, if you don't make bond, they will pull you up within 7 to 10 days, process your court date, okay? Have a good day. Markir Menchaka.
How you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Good.
1 second, I'm waiting on documentation for your case. Give me 1 second, I need to review it.
All right.
You are charged with robbery and 2 counts of obstruction of an officer. You do not have a bond at this time. Should you get a bond, the condition of your bond will be to stay away from Corey Lewis. Do you understand your charges, or do you need your warrant read aloud?
Yeah, you can say it out loud. That's like the wrong charge.
You are Markir Menchaka.
Yes, ma'am.
You're accused of robbery, and that you did with the intent to commit theft, take the property of Corey Lewis for the immediate presence by fear of injury, or snatching a yellow iPhone valued in excess of $500 and fled the scene on foot. You are also charged with obstruction of law enforcement officer, which is a misdemeanor, and that you did during an investigation, the officer approached you to stop after identifying you from a photograph. You then turned around, took off running on Hastings Bridge Road toward East Lovejoy, then jumped over a fence and dropped the cellular phone at Vinings Way and ran away. You are also charged, give me one moment, there's another charge for you. You are charged with another count of obstruction of an officer, and that you did make contact with uniformed patrol officers in reference to your active felony warrant. That said offender ran from the police detainment, leading several officers from Lovejoy PD and deputies from Clayton County on a foot pursuit, disregarding several verbal commands. As stated, the court reviewed those charges, reviewed those warrants. You do not have a bond at this time. If you get a bond, you shall stay away from Corey Lewis. The court has appointed an attorney to represent you. Your next court date is September 9th at 8 a.m. in room 203. Have a good day. Deputy, did you say Marcelo is in custody? We have a Marcelo Moki and a not custody, but in medical. We have two Mokis. Which one is in medical?
It's a Marquelo, it's medical.
Okay, so we'll do Marquise Moki.
Moki, come on.
You are Marquise Moki?
Yes.
You are charged with obstruction of an officer. Do you wish to have your warrant read aloud, or you understand the nature of your charge?
I understand.
Your bond is $3,500. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. This is a misdemeanor offense, so you have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
No.
Your next court date is going to be August 25th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Are you able to make bond?
Yes.
Have a good day. Andrea Pittman.
Yes, ma'am. How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, ma'am.
You are charged with battery against a pregnant female. Do you understand the nature of your charge, or do you want your warrant read aloud?
I would like it read aloud.
It is alleged that you, Adrian Martise Pittman,
Yes, ma'am.
intentionally battered Alana Cabrera by intentionally causing substantial harm or visible bodily harm to Alana Cabrera by striking her in the eye, leaving a small scratch to the victim's eye. Said victim being 2 months pregnant at the time of the incident. Said offender is the father of their unborn child. This is from 2019, November 21st. The court reviewed the warrant, but there was probable cause for your arrest. This warrant was issued last year, and your bond is $10,000. A condition of your bond is you to stay away from Alana Cabrera. You cannot return to 3422 Bell Landing Drive, and you must not violate any laws while out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am, I can. But I have one more question for you, ma'am.
Yes.
Our son is here now, and how does that work?
I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you, sir. I cannot give you any legal advice.
Okay.
You'll speak with you about that. This is a misdemeanor offense. Are you able to, do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
If I waive it, what does that mean?
I'm not trying to be funny, but we went over that several times over the past 2 hours. I'm going to go ahead and appoint you an attorney and set your preliminary hearing for August 25th. If you and your lawyer decide you can waive that at a different time, or if you bond out, you will waive it at that point. Okay, sir?
Yes,
Have a good day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Devin Preston.
Yes, ma'am.
Devon, I apologize. You were charged with public drunk, criminal trespass, and obstruction of an officer. Do you understand your charge, or do you wish to have your warrant read aloud?
Yes, I understand it.
I can't hear you.
I'm understanding.
Your bond is $8,000. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
You must not violate any laws or out on bond. These are all misdemeanor offenses, so you have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to have your preliminary hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Have a good day. Your next court date will come in the mail. Please sign your waiver. Gary and Turner.
Cordelia, you ready? She just said something about Turner.
Gary and Turner.
All right, he's coming on.
Thank you.
Ma'am.
Sir, you are charged with trafficking methamphetamines, 2 felony counts of violation of the Controlled Substances Act, possession of a firearm by a felon, possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime, and carrying a concealed weapon. You understand your charges, or do you wish to have your warrants read aloud?
Understand.
You do not have a bond at this time. Should you get a bond, a condition of your bond will be that you are not to violate any laws without a bond. However, the court is not giving you a bond at this time based on the nature of your charge. I am, however, appointing an attorney to represent you. Your next court date will be September 9th at 8 a.m. That will be your preliminary hearing. Your bond hearing will be on September 11th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Marquise Williams. You're charged with false imprisonment. Do you understand your charge, or do you want your warrant read aloud?
Can you read it out loud?
You are charged as Marquise Williams, confining your living girlfriend and mother of your unborn child, Aaliyah Austin, by refusing to allow her to leave the bedroom after several requests from the victim to let her leave in violation of her personal liberty. The offender did admit that he was blocking the victim's path to prevent her from leaving during a domestic argument. This incident occurred in Clayton County, Georgia. The court reviewed this request for a warrantless arrest affidavit. We approved it. Based on that, it's found that there is probable cause for your detainment. Your bond is $15,000. A condition of your bond is that you should stay away from Aaliyah Austin. You cannot return to 1048 Flat Shoals Road. It was indicated that that is your residence, so you can go back with a sheriff's escort for the limited purpose of retrieving your personal property. However, you cannot go back to that property unescorted unless and until the matter is resolved. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You must also not violate any laws without on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Maybe.
Your next court date is going to be September 9th at 8 a.m. in room 203. Have a good day.
Yes, ma'am.
Come on, please.
Williams.
Good morning.
Good afternoon. You are charged with criminal trespass. Do you understand your charge, or do you need your warrant read aloud?
What's the first name on the Williams you want?
Richard Cleveland Williams.
Oh, Richard. Oh, come on.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. You are charged with criminal trespass. Do you understand your charge?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you wish to have your warrant read aloud, or you waive the reading of your warrant aloud?
Warrant?
Do you wish to have me read your warrant aloud, or do you understand? Thank you.
Yes,
Your
ma'am.
bond is $3,500. You are to stay away from Chantrell Williams. You must not violate any laws without on bond. This is a misdemeanor, so you have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
Please sign your waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail. Have a good day. Darius Redden. You are charged with motor vehicle hijacking, possession of a weapon during a crime, obstruction of an officer, fleeing from an officer, and reckless driving. Do you understand the charges, or do you want your warrant read aloud?
I understand.
You do not have a bond at this time. Should you get a bond, you should stay away from the victims, and you must not violate any laws. But as stated, you do not have a bond at this time. The court has appointed an attorney to represent you. Your next court date will be September 9th at 8 a.m. in room 203. Have a good day. Is that it? Are we ready for the medical inmates? Anybody else that is standing by?
Yes, we have 3 standing by. What's your last name? Williams. One last name is Williams, Patrick Williams.
Okay.
I also have the medical ones ready whenever you are.
Patrick Williams and who else?
Jimmy Knox.
Okay, Knox was an add-on. Give me a second with that.
What's your name?
And who else?
And Gibson is still standing by for whenever you get the paperwork.
Yes, I still haven't received the paperwork for Gibson. Let me try to send an email to see if they can send it over.
Judge, I have the other two for medical ready whenever you are too, as well.
Thank you so much. Give me a second.
Yeah, go back to wherever you came from.
Oh, good.
You are Patrick Williams.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Give me a moment.
Yes, ma'am.
You are charged with tag light violation and possession of a marijuana greater than an ounce. Do you understand the nature of your charge?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you wish to have your warrant read aloud, or you waive the reading of your warrant?
Waive it, please.
Your bond is $8,500.
Yes, ma'am.
Lady laws were out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Your next court date will be September 9th at 8 a.m. in room 203. Have a good day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We're standing by for Gibson. I sent another email requesting that. We'll go ahead and do the inmates who are in medical.
Yes, ma'am. The first one I got is Moki, Marquelo.
Okay. All right, give me a second.
I can't touch that one.
Is there anybody else standing by at the they said that there were 3. We just did Mr. Patrick Williams. We're waiting for Gibson. Was there anybody else we're waiting for?
Knox, Jimmy Knox.
Oh, the add-on. Okay. I apologize. First before we do Mr. Mulkey.
That's how it goes. Yes, this is Moki, ma'am. Marquelo.
Yes. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Some stuff I might just have to relate to him, but he can hear you.
Mr. Mulkey, you are charged with possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime, possession of a handgun by a person under the age of 18, obstruction of an officer, and aggravated assault. Do you understand your charge, or do you need to have your warrants read aloud?
You understand your charge, or you want her to read the warrant? You want her to read it?
I understand.
Judge, he said he understands them.
You do not have a bond at this time. Should you get a bond, a condition of your bond is to stay away from Eric McGusty and Noah Johnson, who are the victims in your case. And your next court date will be September 9th at 8 a.m. in room 203. Have a good day.
All right, Judge, I got to go to the other person. Just give me a minute.
All right, we'll do Mr. Knox while we do. Jimmy Knox.
Yes, ma'am.
Give me 1 second.
Ma'am.
I added you to the calendar, so you're lost in the shuffle, but we'll get it taken care of.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You are charged with criminal trespass, which is a misdemeanor. Do you understand the nature of your charge, or you wish to have your warrant read aloud?
Understand.
All right, you are to stay away from Latrice Harris. Your bond is $3,500. You should not violate the laws without on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Working on it.
Okay. Your next court date, you can waive it because of misdemeanor. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes.
Okay, your next court date is gonna come in the mail. Please make sure you sign waiver, okay, Mr. Knox? Waiting on Gibson and Miss LaChance? Yes. Hello, you were charged with criminal trespass, damage to property, disorderly conduct, and obstruction of an officer. Do you understand your charge, or you wish to have your warrants read aloud? I live there. Do you wish to have your warrants read aloud, or do you understand the nature of your charge? I'm not asking if you agree with what you've been charged with. I'm asking if you understand the nature of your charge. If you do not understand, I can read it aloud for you. We are streaming live on YouTube. Do you wish for me to read it aloud, or do you understand your charge?
She understands the charge, Judge.
Okay. Your bond is $8,500. You are to stay away from Willie Ross. You cannot return to 991 King Road. It was indicated on the warrant that that is your residence. Since that is your residence, I will allow you to go with a sheriff's escort for the limited purpose of retrieving your personal property. However, you cannot go back to that property unless the matter is resolved or unless that condition is modified by another judge. Do you understand? I do, ma'am. Where do I have no family in Georgia? No family. Where do I go? I understand, ma'am, and I do, and the court is sympathetic to the position. However, based on the warrant as alleged, I cannot allow you to go back to that property unescorted. I am appointing an attorney to represent you. You can speak with your attorney about your concerns and your needs. They may be able to find a way to get that modified to allow for that, but the court cannot allow you to go back to that property unescorted. Do you understand, ma'am? These are all misdemeanor offenses. This means you have the right to waive your preliminary hearing and move your matter along quicker, or you can have your preliminary hearing. Which do you wish to have, ma'am? Okay, so your court date will be August 25th at 8 a.m. in room 201, 8:30 a.m., excuse me. Are you able to make bond, ma'am? I have to make some calls, but yes. Okay, so I've appointed an attorney to represent you. You'll speak with your lawyer. Your next court date will be August 25th. Have a good day, okay? You're welcome. Let me try to call intake really quickly to see what's going on with Mr. Gibson's paperwork. I would hate to reset him for a misdemeanor. So let me see what's going on with that. And then we should be able to get done, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. They are getting his paperwork sent over right now. Like I said, based on the nature of his charge, I do not feel comfortable resetting it since the paperwork is there. So we're on a standby until they get the paperwork to the court.
Clear, ma'am.
Thank you. Back on the record, we had just received the paperwork from the intake for Matthew Gibson. Is he available?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Gibson?
Yes.
Excuse me, this is the jail calling me. Judge Duvernay? Sir, you are charged with possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Do you understand the nature of your charge, or do you need your warrant read aloud to you?
I understand.
All right. The court is going to give you a bond of $1,500. A condition of your bond is that you must not violate any laws while out on bond.
Okay.
Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You have the option, this is misdemeanor, to waive your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
Please sign your waiver. Have a good day. Your next court date will come in the mail, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. That should be everyone, correct?
My
Yes,
next court
Judge.
date, I'm sorry.
We'll come in the mail.
Your court date's gonna come in the mail.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. Are you all done? That's everybody?
Yes, Judge Duvernay, that's everybody.
I appreciate your patience. I just didn't want to have that young man in jail overnight for something that I know he could bond down on. So y'all have a good one, okay?
You, Judge. See you tomorrow, Judge.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.